Hey and welcome to the Daily Manchester United News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Marcus Rashford speaks out on Benni McCarthy impact at Manchester United. Manchester United striker Marcus Rashford has been a player reborn over the past 12 months. Rashford has scored a career best 26 goals already, a major improvement on his tally of just 5 last season. The England international's return to form has been partially credited to manager Erik ten Hag and also striker coach Benni McCarthy. United hired McCarthy last July after he impressed ten Hag during a trial coaching period. Marcus Rashford has been speaking to SuperSport about what Benni McCarthy has brought to the team, and he was keen to push the notion that McCarthy is not yet satisfied and believes there is another level the team can go to. Rashford spoke highly of McCarthy, saying that having a dedicated coach is benefiting Manchester United's front players. He said, I think he has done a good job. It's always good for us to have a particular coach that concentrates on us as a forwards group. We have worked more as a team going forward, which has led us to creating more chances and scoring more goals. It's still early days, and Benny will tell you himself his aspirations are much bigger than what we have done so far. He keeps on pushing us, keeps to try and get us improve. Benny has been great with me, like I said before, with all the forward lads, and you have to remember that Benny is part of a full coaching system, so everyone plays their roles. So Benny is actually on top of what we need. Yes, his relationship with me is very good. We speak a lot. We are always analyzing games and showing me ways to improve. Small things that can help me make more chances, more goals, maybe create space for other players as well. We are doing a lot of work. McCarthy clearly appears to be going in depth with the forwards, and it's interesting to hear Rashford explain the post match analysis they go through. Rashford has had a long season so far, with 47 games played for club and country already. It has been warned he could end up playing 72 before the season is out. Having close support from McCarthy will keep him engaged mentally at a time when his body may be feeling the strain. McCarthy and Rashford have already won one trophy this season and are in the hunt for two more, with the Europa League and FA Cup games to be played this week. Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag has ruled out the club's chances of being title contenders. Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag, while speaking ahead of the second leg UEFA Europa League clash against Real Betis, has ruled out United's chances of a title race. United's upturn in form this season has been nothing short of remarkable, considering the fatal defeat suffered at the hands of Brighton and Hove Albion and Brentford at the beginning of the season. From there, the team had an exceptional run and entered the top four in the Premier League, with the team currently sitting in third. In the midst of it all, and before the Liverpool debacle, there were talks of United being in the title race, joining Arsenal and Manchester City, as at that time the gap between us and second placed Manchester City was just 3 points. However, the result against Liverpool following the draw against Southampton has increased the gap to an extent where any talk of a title race are certainly over. This is what Ten Hag think, at least, with the manager admitting that although huge progress has been made by the team, there is still a gap between United and the top two. He said, I think we have made good progress, but we also have to acknowledge that there is still a gap. I couldn't expect us to close that gap quickly. We are trying to win every game and we have beaten all of the top teams. We are capable of doing it. We have to take the next step to do it more consistently. With time, we can do it. At the beginning of the season, we would have been delighted if given the option of ending the season with a top four and a trophy. Come to March, and there is already one trophy in the bag, while the team is still in contention for two more in Europa League and FA Cup. On top of that, it does feel like we are comfortably sitting in the top four and would make Champions League qualification. Hence, it was a matter of getting our hopes up and dreaming about things. which at present are beyond our reach. It does not mean that the team is far behind the title challengers. It's just a matter of time before we see us competing for the top honors. Man United handed a fresh blow with Antony absent from training ahead of Real Betis clash. Manchester United have been handed a fresh blow with Antony absent from training ahead of today's Europa League clash against Real Betis on the road. The Red Devils recently played out a frustrating goalless draw against Southampton in the Premier League. The game was influenced by dubious refereeing decisions. While Casemiro was harshly sent off in the opening half, United should have had a couple of penalties. The club now need to refocus for the second leg of their Europa League round of 16 tie, and ahead of the game, they look set to be without the services of Antony. Marcel Sabitzer was spotted back in training yesterday after an undefined injury, but Antony was nowhere to be seen. He could be injured or out with an illness. The Red Devils are already without Alejandro Garnacho, Christian Eriksen, and Donny van de Beek for the game with injuries. The former is out for a number of weeks. Antony's absence could pave the way for Pellistri to make his first United start. The Uruguayan has made 6 appearances this year, but all of them have come off the bench. The 21-year-old has been lively in each of those games. His clever pass into the box indirectly contributed to United's final goal in the 4-1 win over Betis at Old Trafford, with the club carrying a resounding 3-goal lead to Sevilla. Ten Hag could finally be tempted to start Pellistri on the right wing, with Antony likely to be sidelined. Sheikh Jassim to meet with Manchester United today. Ineos representatives meeting on Friday. Sky Sports journalist Kaveh Solhekol says there is no doubt that the Glazers want to sell Manchester United. The Red Devils owners want the takeover completed before the end of the season. Bidders have been invited to Old Trafford after the process progressed into the second stage. Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani's representatives will be at the club facilities today, while Ineos representatives will meet with United on Friday, and Sir Jim Ratcliffe will be present. While some doubt if the Glazers want to sell the club, Solhekol has a theory that makes him reckon they indeed want a sale. He said on Sky Sports, "There are a lot of people out there that think that the Glazers don't really want to sell Manchester United. What they actually want to do is sell a minority stake or borrow more money to try and redevelop Old Trafford. But I just sense the fact that this information has come out today that the Qataris will be visiting tomorrow, meaning today, Thursday, and Sir Jim Ratcliffe is going to be there Friday. This information could have been kept secret. It didn't have to come out. The fact that it has come out just makes me a little bit more confident. I don't know if that is the right word, that the Glazers do actually want to sell the club." Plenty of things are expected to happen between now and the end of the week. However, the bidders have already signed no-disclosure agreements and details of talks will be kept confidential. Man United have managed to keep some details secret, but the fact that the schedule of the meetings is known speaks volumes. Both Sheikh Jassim and Ratcliffe have not met the Glazers' asking price with their initial bids. They will be asked to submit revised bids after the meetings are concluded by the end of the week. The club will explain how they arrived at the valuation to the would-be buyers. It's believed that the Glazers want around £6 billion to sell Man United. Erik ten Hag wants to prop up Man United's midfield with Frank Kessie this summer. Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag wants to prop up the midfield department by signing Barcelona star Frank Kessie this summer, Mondo Deportivo report. Ten Hag was keen on signing Frenkie de Jong from Barcelona last summer, but the 25-year-old made it clear that he did not want to leave the Catalan Giants. As a result, United ended up landing Casemiro from Real Madrid instead. The Brazilian has been brilliant for the club with his defensive and offensive contribution. It's now reported that the Red Devils boss wants to finish propping up the midfield with another signing, and Kessie is one of the top names on his transfer wish list. The Ivorian is not looking for a way out of the club despite his limited game time, but it's claimed that Barcelona could be forced to sell him amid their financial needs. Scott McTominay's future has been regularly speculated in recent months, and there are suggestions that he could be sold for £40 million during the summer. In that case, Ten Hag will want a suitable replacement. In our view, Kessie would be an upgrade on McTominay with his better control and distribution. Kessie has completed 87% of his passes from 31 games this term. McTominay has played exactly the same number of matches but has a pass accuracy of 83. The Ivorian is currently valued at £31 million by transfer market, and United could recoup the funds with the sale of McTominay, possibly to Newcastle United. However, their main stumbling block could be the player himself. Kessie may not want to move to Old Trafford without the assurance of regular playing time, with interest also from Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspur, Inter Milan, Juventus and Napoli. Kessie could choose his next destination based on where he could play more. Man United preparing €120 million bid for Eintracht Frankfurt striker Randal Kolo Muani. Manchester United are ready to pay €120 million to sign Eintracht Frankfurt striker Randal Kolo Muani in the summer, reports German outlet Bild. The Red Devils want a new striker at all costs ahead of next season. However, a deal for Tottenham Hotspur hitman Harry Kane has been ruled out, and they are looking elsewhere. Man United are interested in Kolo Muani and will pull out all the stops to land him. The French international is expected to leave the Bundesliga club at the end of the season. He joined Frankfurt for free from Nantes last summer, but his value has since skyrocketed. Kolo Muani has bagged 16 goals and 14 assists across all competitions for Frankfurt. He was part of the French side that reached the final of the World Cup in Qatar last year. Muani's physicality and finishing abilities have impressed Man United. They reckon the 24-year-old could hit the ground running in the Premier League, and it's easy to see why. However, United are not the only club interested in signing him. Paris Saint-Germain are also keeping tabs on Kolo Muani, and more clubs will likely join them. His contract ends in 2027, and Frankfurt would love to hold on to him beyond the summer. However, they would be unable to turn down a massive offer from Man United. The Red Devils brought in Wout Weghorst in January after Cristiano Ronaldo's exit. The Netherlands international has always been viewed as a short-term option. Man United need a quality striker if they want to win the Premier League, and Kolo Muani fits the bill. Manchester United target Victor Osimhen, unstoppable in a Champions League win. Manchester United target Victor Osimhen helped Napoli reach the Champions League quarter-finals for the first time with a brace against Eintracht Frankfurt yesterday. He barely touched the ball in the first half, but was alert when he needed to be, with his clinical finishing on show in the Serie A leaders' 3-0 win. For his first goal, Osimhen scored a fantastic looped header on the stroke of half-time, connecting with Matteo Politano's floated cross with a salmon lip that left the Frankfurt defense with no chance of challenging the Nigerian. His accuracy in placing the ball into the top corner was immaculate and a real show of composure. Most impressive about the goal, however, was Osimhen's movement to create space for himself in the penalty area. Much like Edinson Cavani, Napoli's current star striker has a habit of charging directly at the back line when he anticipates a chance only to then back off once the defense has receded. That sudden changing of direction, or as in this case, halting of motion entirely, leaves defenders scrambling and off balance. Osimhen essentially stole the keys to the Frankfurt penalty area simply by knowing when to stand still. Shortly after the restart, Osimhen showed off his predatory instincts, again converting Di Lorenzo's drilled cross across the face of goal. There was no standing still this time. He knew exactly where the ball was going and powered his way past his marker to slide into a simple finish. It came as something of a surprise when 63 minutes in, and with Napoli having won a penalty, Osimhen now on for a hat-trick did not take the spot kick. Zelensky converted calmly and progress was assured. After the match, Osimhen revealed that Zelensky asked him to take the penalty so he could score a third, but Osimhen insisted that the Poland international could have it. At least Manchester United fans can be assured that there will be no arguments over penalty-taking duties should Victor Osimhen sign for the club. Substituted on the 81st minute, he walked off the pitch, have won 8 duels, winning 3 fouls and completing 2 dribbles. Not a bad performance at all for the number 9. His record for Napoli now stands at 50 goals in 90 games, while he has also become the first player to score in both legs of a Champions League or European Cup knockout tie for the club. I will be uploading daily Manchester United news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.